Hello and welcome to another episode of M Cubed. I am Brian, otherwise known as the Motley Mix Merchant. Thank you very much for dropping by. I'm excited to show you what I picked up at an online auction last week. Don't give up on junk drawers. Everybody's got a junk drawer in their house. Well, this particular house, their junk drawer is stuff from a long, long time ago. And so I was just watching this auction. This auction had some great stuff. Beautiful old vintage stuff. Everything from signs, tin signs, Pepsi signs, all kinds of stuff like that. All kinds of furniture. I was almost the proud owner of one of those great big telephone operator switchboards. I tried. I was ready to move into the big, large stuff, but just went a little too high for my bankroll. But unbelievable stuff at this auction. So a lot of it went really high because it was in a good location close to being picked up from a major city, about 25 minutes outside of the Niagara area where I live. But I kept my eye on things. I watched the whole auction go down online, and there was one lot that I had my eye on just for a couple of items that were in the pictures. And then somebody started bidding against me for it. And that sort of had me wondering that there might be something worthwhile in this box. It really is a junk box. Here's a picture of the box after I had a quick look through it and organized it even just a little bit. You can see it's tiny little stuff. It's a junk drawer. It's basically somebody's junk drawer from whether it was the garage or from a dresser in their house or something like that. So I just took a shot. I was looking for something to get to just have some fun with and look through and research and do my usual funness of finding out what things are. And so I got this box. And let's go through it. Let's go through about half of it, because really, half of it is junk, and it's going in the garbage. It's not going to even be resold at a yard sale. Some of the stuff, tiny little keychains and key fobs and pencils and things like that. What else is there? A rubber ball and things like that. So about half of it was junk, but half of it is actually stuff that I'm going to be able to sell on my eBay store. So let's get to it. First things first. There is this. It is a slide top box. I know there's a name for it, but I just call it a slide top box. And it had a bunch of jewelry in it. I'll show you a little bit of the jewelry here in a second that actually was worthwhile to pull out of it. A lot of it's junk, missing fake stones and that kind of thing. But inside was this. It is a very nice Cardinal men's watch. The crystal is clear. It's working. I started that up 3 days ago, and it is still keeping the exact right time. Unfortunately, I took the back off to investigate it, and it's a good watch, so you can't, it's not like the cheap watches from Walmart where you can just press the back on. This is a good watch. I'm going to have to get a watch press when they reopen at the jewelry counter or a jewelry store or whatever. I'm going to have to get somebody with a watch press to actually put the back on this. But it's a beautiful watch. It is a $30 to $50 men's watch. This one's staying with me. I'm going to put it right in the drawer there with the back, and that's where it's staying until I can get the back put back on, and that's for me. I haven't had a watch for almost a year because I haven't been bothered to buy one. So, but that's a beautiful watch. And again, $30 to $50 value on that one. So, but there's a ladies' watch, one of the $10 specials, and some other junky type stuff in there. But I pulled out a couple of things that I'll show you here in a second. I thought this was very interesting. I looked up this after I got it out. It is a Columbia Needles tin. This tin folds up, opens up like that. You can see. And that is for gramophone needles. Graphenolas. For Columbia Graphenolas and other disc machines. But it's maybe worth $10. There are some people that are selling these with the needles still in them. They're getting about $20, $20 to $25. But just the tin itself, tiny little tin, it's worth about $10. I may just save that for a yard sale. Get $5 for it at a yard sale or less. Who knows? Thought this was interesting. There's a bunch of things here I'm going to hold up all at one time. This person, it was a farm. It was a farmhouse. And this person obviously did their own leather work. So there is a bunch of leather tools here. A couple of awls. This is really sharp. A couple of awls for poking holes into leather. A line feed. I don't know if that's bone or what that's made out of, but they use this and they tie the leather strap to this, and then they feed this through the leather. It's a lot easier than trying to poke it through with your fingers. This is a pincher to take out staples and that kind of thing. And there is I think that is a hole starter. If I researched that correctly, this starts the holes, then you punch through with the awl, and then you feed your leather straps through this. So I think this person did their own saddlery work, but those 5 pieces I'll put together in a lot. Probably get about $15 for those on the eBay store as well. Another lot of things. Let's see if that's another one. That's another one here. This person has a bunch of, get myself organized here, sorry. There's a few mechanical pencils, and they're older, silver plated mechanical pencils right here. I don't think they're worth much. They may be yard sale material, unless I lot them together maybe for $15, but they're definitely older and they're in pretty good condition. This one's still got some lead in it. I'd say $15 if I lot them all together. And along the same lines as pencils and pens, there's this, and this is very cool. An old marble pen stand with the gold finish holder and still the gold pen. Now, it's not a famous brand or anything like that. There is no brand on it at all, actually. But the fact that it still has the original gold pen in it, all you have to do is change out the ink. Somebody would like this for their desk. And these are going on eBay for about $25. So I'm going to definitely list that. I just cleaned it up today. The brass gold finish has got a little bit of modeling on it, but not too bad. It's definitely a vintage piece, so looks pretty good for its age. And yeah, $20 to $25 for the marble-based pen stand. Interesting. Saw this in the thumbnail. I got a participation trophy for this one. I laugh, but trophies sell. It's really weird. I looked it up and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to get anything for this. It's a tiny little trophy, not cleaned up, by the way. But it's got the horseshoe on it and it's blank. There's a blank space here. There's blank here. So somebody could buy this fairly cheaply, probably $10 to $15 on the eBay store, and then they can put whatever they want on it. They can get their own plaque made up at one of those engravings outlets, cubicles inside one of the malls or something, and got yourself a little trophy. So yeah, look at $10 to $15 for that. That's a plastic horseshoe, I think, by the way. No, it's metal. Nice. I thought it was plastic, but it's metal. Another flower frog. I'm becoming the flower frog king. Tiny little flower frog. That's an 11-hole flower frog. Just no base to it. It's going to be probably $10 to $15. Oh, the jewelry. Let me grab some of the jewelry here. 2 main pieces of jewelry that I'm going to be able to resell. First is this. Beautiful little stick pin with the pink finish on it. Okay, let me see if I can get that to focus on the pink. There we go. It's a cute little hat pin. That's worth a good $15 to $20, believe it or not. People like those, especially with the pink color stone in the middle. Those are going well on eBay actually right now. Then there's these. This is a matching set of cufflinks and a tie pin. Turn it so you can see it, with some really cool blue stone inside. I'm pretty sure that's a fake stone. So I'll research that a little bit, but yeah, that's definitely man-made, whatever that is. But that's a nice little set. Absolutely vintage with the tie pin, tie bar, the way that is created. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what I'll get for that. That's probably $15 to $20. Again, it's all adding up though. Oh, did I even tell you how much I paid for this? I don't think I did. $38 Canadian plus buyer's premium and taxes worked out to about $47 Canadian. That's about $36 US right now. So $36 US for all of this. And so far, even just on the small stuff, a good $100 worth of return on just the junk from the junk drawer. So not bad. Not too bad at all. What's next? Oh, this. I thought this was interesting. I mean, every person out there that has a sewing basket has one of these. It is a soft, pliable, it looks, I think it's plastic. These are plastic, these are made out of. It's a measuring tape, right? But there's something about this one. It's brand new, first of all, never been out of the package, as you can see. It is an 8-yard measuring tape. I cannot find an 8-yard measuring tape anywhere online. It is 5 yards or shorter now. So this is obviously a vintage measuring tape because it is so long. It is an 8-yard measuring tape. You can see here, there you go, right on the inside, right there. 8 yards at the very end of it, on the inside. And it's actually worth some money. I think this is going to go for $15, $15 to $20 on eBay for a vintage old plastic soft measuring tape for somebody who does a lot of sewing. I thought, yeah, a piece of junk. And I looked it up. It's like, I don't see any 8-yard ones. And there are no 8-yard measuring tapes for sale. So I may have the only one. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. This is a pin that I'm going to research. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Let's see if we can see it here. I think that might be 4H. Does that look like it might be the 4H club? Look, 4 little hearts inside. It's a pin. It's a lapel pin. You can see it's got... No, it's not either. That does not come off. That is a button. That goes through a buttonhole. So that's a button pin. But you put that through a buttonhole, and it's a little dirty. I will clean it up. But I think that's 4H. The 4 hearts in the shape like that. Leave a comment down below if you know for sure. Does that represent 4H with the 4 hearts inside the circle? I'm pretty sure it does. Again, this came off of a farm, so I'm thinking 4H, maybe. We'll see. I'm having a tough time with this one. I think it's junk because of how badly it's messed up. But it's a tiny little apothecary type jar. It's got an old cork on the inside. And the label is a disaster. But the part here that you can read is in French. So I don't know. It's not going to focus because it's too close, actually. But it's super small, as you can see. It's super tiny. I don't know if this is going to be worth anything at all, but it's super old, and it's a French language label. So I don't know where it's from or what it's about. Who knows? Okay, what do we have here? This is interesting. This is a silver-plated spoon, as you can see. Silver-plated, very unshiny right now, non-shiny, tarnished for sure. But it's got some interesting designs on the top part of the handle. Let me see if that focuses for us. Here we go. Focus. It's got an American coat of arms. It's not going to focus for me. This camera is very touchy. There it goes. There it is. There it is. So I haven't read it completely, but you see it's got the coat of arms there. And on the front, it is, I think that says South Carolina. And it's William Rogers with a patent date on it. I just don't know where it's from. I'm going to have to research that quite a bit, see how old that is. So we'll see. Interesting, though. I thought it was interesting with the detailing on the handle part of the American coat on the back, coat of arms on the back, and the South Carolina stuff on the front. I thought that was very cool. Here's a little thing. And again, don't give up on junk drawers because you never know what something's worth inside of it. And I mean, this is all small stuff so far. But it's just, it adds up. I mean, with what I paid for this, I've already quadrupled my money back on just the stuff that I'm showing you up to this point. So there's this. It is a Iroquois Indian Pale Ale. That was out of Buffalo, New York. That's where that was bottled. It's a bottle opener, and it is very old, but it's also, you're not going to be able to see this. No, maybe you can right there, right at the top. That's a Rotary insignia, Rotary Buffalo insignia. So this is going to be worthwhile for anybody who collects Indian Head Pale Ale memorabilia, and there is quite a bit of stuff out there actually online for sale. Nothing like this though. I think that is I'm gonna say it's a bottle opener, nail puller. I don't know what that's for. I don't know what that bottom part would be for, but and then it's got, so it'll be worthwhile for somebody who collects that kind of memorabilia, and maybe for somebody from Rotary. If somebody collects Rotary stuff, it's got the Rotary insignia, Rotary Buffalo, right on the top. So they obviously used it at the bar at the Rotary Club whenever they used it. It's a cute little piece. That is a very old safety pin. Not much safety in this kind of pin, as far as I'm concerned. But as you can see, it's got the hook at the end, opens up, safety pin like that. That is actually used quite a bit as a kilt pin. You use that to pin together your kilt if you're a gentleman of Scottish descent, which I am, 50%. So I thought that was interesting that I saw that in there. I thought it was just a safety pin, but I looked it up. I've looked up everything on here, including the junk, just to be safe. And it's a kilt pin worth $10. So we'll see. I may put it out there. Now, this person who had this house obviously was involved in music quite a bit, because there's a few musical pieces in the box. Starting off with these two things. A couple of trumpet and or trombone mouthpieces. Very old, very much vintage. One of them is made in England. I can't remember the name on the one that was from England. I have already looked it up. Bottle B, something like that. B-O-T-T-O something. There's only one for sale on eBay, and none have sold in the last 90 days, and it's not super popular, and there's no name on the other one. But if I can figure out a name on one of them, these can go upwards of $30 to $40. But I don't think these are worth that much. They seem to be a little lower in quality, possibly. I may also try to clean them up. I think I'm going to invest in some silver polish and or brass polish, and see what I can do as far as cleaning these up, because they're old. Well, there's the name, Bessotto, B-E-S-S-O-T-L. That's the name of it. That's this big one. I think that's a trumpet one, or a trombone one, because it's bigger. No name on the trumpet one. Definitely a smaller trumpet one. So, but yeah, I'm going to invest in some silver polish and start polishing up some of the really, really old stuff. I'm still going to leave most of my silver plate dishes and that kind of thing tarnished, but I'm going to start cleaning up some of the really, really old stuff that I get that's smaller. Okay, this is interesting. This, it looks like it could be a hot plate. First I thought this was a hot plate. Cast iron, super heavy. Got a little bit of green coming in on the one side, so it's definitely iron. Oh, no, maybe it's brass. If it's got the green, maybe it's brass. It does have a brassy finish to it, so this may be brass. Actually, I think that's brass. Now that I look closer at it, you can see on this side it's got that little bit of a sheen to it. That's brass. Or it's brass plated. I'll have to figure it out. But it's got a patent applied for with a number, but I don't think that will give you a patent number, because that's definitely not long enough to be a patent number. But again, I thought it was a hot plate, but then I look, and it's got this hole in the middle, which also has a ridge on the bottom. I believe this is the base for a lamp, for an antique lamp. This is the base that you would feed the wire through the bottom, and then you'd have your lamp on top of it. So I'm pretty sure this is I'm pretty sure it's cast iron. I'll double check that, but it's a lamp base, but it sells for $20 to $25 because people will use this and they'll clean it up and they'll make their own lamps out of it now. So it's very worthwhile to sell, and it's very cool. I think that was cool. And again, that was just in the bottom underneath some other stuff. And again, the way the pictures were, you saw they had the stuff spread out on the table, so you could see the pictures of things on the table. And truthfully, I didn't know what most of the stuff was, even the good stuff. I didn't know what it was. I just took a shot because I thought, we'll see what happens with the stuff, and we'll go from there. So, and then when the person started bidding against me, I just had a feeling there was something good in here. And here they come. First off is these. There were already the fountain pens there, the unbranded. Oh no, I haven't showed you those yet. Oh boy, this isolation's getting to me now, I'm telling you. Fountain pens with the nibs on them. These are dip pens. You actually have to dip these into the ink to get them to work. And they're pretty old. Wow, Brian, you're just terrible with your aim right now in the camera. Anyhow, yeah, there's 3 of those that are the dip pens. Then there's 3 which are the inkwell pens. The actual ink goes inside the pen, and you have to refill it once in a while, and it's got the lids and stuff on it. This has got a pencil on one end, and then you unscrew it, and it's got the nib pen on the other end. And that's a good one with the nice thin tip on it. There is no name yet on that one. I'm still researching that one. This one is also a very, very good one. It has got the marble style finish, almost camouflage, but it's a marble style finish. Again, unscrews. That goes on the end. And that one, I can't get a name yet. I'm still looking at this one. It does say made in USA on the nib. The nibs are important because if they are gold or gold tipped or whatever. So the nib on this one definitely says made in USA. So I'll be researching this one a little bit more to see what I can find out about that. But that's probably a $15 to $20 pen. And then there's this one. This is a pen by a company named Schaefer, Canadian company, worldwide renowned for their pens. And this is a good one. It's called a balanced pen. So when you put the lid on the back end, it is completely balanced in your hand. It is super, super light. It actually still works because when I was cleaning it up, I reactivated the end by the tip, and I was able to write a few things on a piece of paper. I don't think there's any ink in there left, but there was ink still in the system, and it worked. And this nib is gold tipped. It's got the name on it with a number, and you reference the number, and it is a much desired nib number. And the entire pen itself is very good condition. It has been used well, so there's a little bit of rubbing off. There is a inscription here on the body that tells you 14 karat gold nib and all that kind of stuff. That's worn down a little bit. This pen, even in the condition that it's in, is worth probably $50 to $75 US. If it was in great shape, you can see the clasp is a little bit mottled. Maybe you can't see it because it's not focusing, but the slide here, I don't know what that's called. I have to learn all this terminology for when I do this listing, but the piece at the end here that you slide over your pocket, that's got a little bit of marking on. Oh, you know what, not too bad. Maybe I'll try and shine that up if I get some silver polish. But yes, $50 to $75 for this pen easily on eBay. If I can double check exactly what it says on the body and make sure that the nib is what I think it is. It's a gold nib, 14 karat gold nib with a thin end. It's maybe worth $75 to $100. So that may have been what the other person was bidding against me for, because that is a beautiful ink pen. And I'm going to have fun listing that one and seeing how that one goes. All right. Oh, real quick to show you this. Cute. It is a lamp finial. It's got the screw on the bottom there. It's plastic. It's for a kid's lamp. I don't even know if I'm going to bother that. I'll probably just go on in the yard sale, but I just thought that was cute. An airplane lamp finial. I didn't see anything else like it on eBay, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Last but not least, the pièce de résistance in the junk box. Ready for this? Looks kind of innocuous enough, doesn't it? I saw this and I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know how to take it apart or what to do with this thing when I saw it. I saw this silver bullet looking thing and it had the screws here and I'm trying to figure it out. Well, here's what it is. Ready? That comes off. That is just a cap, but that cap is a main portion of this whole thing. This is a saxophone mouthpiece. It is by a company named Buescher, B-E-U-S-C-H-E-R, or B-U-E, one of the two. This is from the 1930s, and pro saxophone players or good saxophone players, they still use them, and they still want them because of how they were made and the sound that they get out of it. This is the clasp that keeps the reed in place. So this comes off, slides on to the piece like that, then you tighten it up, and that tightens in your reed. And then this attaches to the saxophone. This, because I've got all three pieces with a very good condition mouthpiece with very little markings, no teeth marks and that kind of thing, plus this, it's called the ligature. This is the ligature. And this on top, this is already in my store as of today for $129.99 US. And I'm going to get $129.99 US for it. These sell at auction between $99 and $119, and usually you can add a good 20%, 15 to 20% to recent auctions because people do tend to get deals at auctions. This is probably, I'm definitely going to say, knock on hairy wood here, this is going to sell for over $100. I do have best offer on it, but because of the condition it's in and the fact that it's got all three pieces and how great it looks and how rare these are in this condition in this day and age, almost 100 years later, this is a $100+ piece out of a junk drawer. Don't give up on junk drawers. So that was the find of all finds out of this haul. I couldn't believe when I looked it up. I thought, oh, cool, piece of another. I thought, you know, the trumpet mouthpieces did nothing for me when I looked them up. I thought, oh, cool. I think that's a saxophone one, isn't it? I couldn't remember. So all I did was enter the company name in eBay, and it came up. And I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. So all told, I estimate my $45 Canadian investment for this junk drawer is going to return about $250 to $300 once everything sells. That's not bad for a junk drawer. I'm actually doing that a lot lately when it comes to online auctions. I'm looking at the end of the auction, looking at the last page, because sometimes they box a bunch of stuff together. Remember I got that one lot of ceramics 2-3 months ago, and it was just a box that you could barely see the picture at all? That was in the last page in one of the last 5 listings of a big online auction. And that's what I'm looking for. Haven't found anything else yet like it, but I thought, yeah, we'll take a shot on the junk drawer and we'll see what happens. And my shot worked so far once it sells, because it will sell. Especially a lot of the stuff will sell when I lot it all together. And I'm sure that mouthpiece for the saxophone is going to sell very, very quickly, hopefully. If you got anything out of this video, like I got something out of this box, please hit the like button down below. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that people are watching, and it passes it on so that other people looking for these haul type of videos will see it in their recommendations as well. And I have been remiss to not welcome some of my new subscribers, because I did get a little bit of a push there when I did the interview with Dominic Carone of the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Welcome to everybody who joined onto this channel after watching that video and taking Dominic's recommendation to subscribe here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. And I am still having lots of fun, still keeping my items coming in and getting listed even during all this social distancing and isolation stuff. Online auctions are keeping me afloat right now. And I'm just in the process of listing the big box of glass and ceramics that I got from my Toronto supplier that you saw last video. I have now started the listing process for that. Cleaning first, and then the listing process for those as well. And then I've got a few of these items that I'm going to be listing in the next few days. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't think I have much else to go. Oh, I've got one little other piece that I'll show you next video. Another box that I got that I forgot to tell you about. I'll show you that in the next video when I do a what sold and that little auction haul, that little haul that I got as well. So anyhow, that's it for this box. That's it for this episode. Thank you very much for dropping by. It's always great to see everybody. I would like to see you again. So please stay home, stay safe, stay well, and we'll get through this all together. I'll see you again very soon, everybody, right here on another episode of M Cubed. Cheers for now.